Cronkite News starts now.
Welcome into this Wednesday edition of Cronkite News. I'm Brady Kling.
And I'm Jordan Elder. Thank you for joining us. Up first, reporter Madison LaBerge with a breakdown of COVID-19 cases here in Arizona.
Today, April 15th, 2020, the Arizona Department of Health Services is reporting 3,962 positive cases of the COVID-19 virus. 142 people have lost their lives due to the novel coronavirus. 101 of those deaths were made up of people 65 years and older. 60% of those deaths were men, and the other 40% were in women. AZDHS has updated their website the past few days in order to bring us some more information about the positive cases here in our state. They have released numbers on cases by race/ethnicity, however, the information is vague. While they report that white, non-Hispanic people make up 20% of the cases and that Hispanic or Latino people make up 9% of the cases, 60% of the positive cases are in the unknown category. As of this report, 45,310 people have been tested, with 8% having positive results. If you're interested in seeing how many positive cases you have in your zip code, the AZDHS website has a new tool where you can see just that. Just type in your address into the search bar or zoom into the map to see the results. In downtown Phoenix, Madison LaBerge, Cronkite News.
President Trump is pulling U.S. money from the World Health Organization over its handling of the coronavirus pandemic. According to the president's statement on Tuesday, U.S. taxpayers provide anywhere from $400 million to $500 million per year to the World Health Organization. President Trump says the decision to pull the funding comes from the World Health Organization's failure to manage the information about the virus and immediately investigate when it was first being reported in 2019.
With the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have deep concerns whether America's generosity has been put to the best use possible. The reality is that the WHO failed to adequately obtain, vet, and share information in a timely and transparent fashion.
Payments to the World Health Organization will be halted until the administration reviews its handling of COVID-19. President Trump did not say if the United States will stop funding them permanently.
Right now, 4 out of the 5 top trending questions people are typing into Google have to do with the stimulus checks. So Cronkite News reporter Cindy Madison took those questions to the experts to get Arizonans the answers they seek. Sydney?
As stimulus checks start appearing in people's bank accounts and mailboxes, Arizona residents have a lot of questions. A financial expert answers the top questions from Arizona and in the U.S.
Who gets a stimulus check?
So generally, the individuals who are going to get stimulus checks are going to be independent tax filers, meaning people who aren't claimed as dependents on their tax returns, who have income below certain limits, $75,000 for single, $150,000 a year for married.
How do I know when my check is coming?
So you're going to know that your stimulus check is coming by checking your bank account on a daily basis. Unfortunately, the IRS hasn't issued a schedule of when stimulus checks will be cut for certain income classifications. The IRS has told us that they are starting with the lowest income tax filers first and will be moving up to higher income tax filers.
Will I have to pay taxes on it next year?
We are getting a lot of questions asking if the stimulus payment is going to be considered to be taxable income. And the answer is it will not be taxable income.
Is there anything else I should know?
So the last thing that I want to make sure that people know is that your tax professional doesn't really have a lot to do with what's going on. So if you have a question, it's really best to check irs.gov. They have a great link for stimulus payments.
For more information on the stimulus checks, people can contact their own financial planner and can also visit the IRS website. From Phoenix, Sydney Madison, Cronkite News.
So we want to hear from you now. With the stimulus checks being sent out, what do you plan to use the money for? Crypto Cowboy Roy says, quote, pay bills, buy stocks. While Mr. Football says he'll be putting it in a scholarship for his grandson who just turned 1. Quote, it's his coronavirus survival check plus interest. And Laura says she'll be putting her stimulus check towards healthcare bills and saving whatever might be left. It's not too late to join the conversation. Just go to our Cronkite News Facebook page and Twitter feeds to chime in.
One state senator wants to make sure her constituents are still keeping up with politics even in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Cronkite News reporter Marcela Baeto explains how she's getting her word out with a podcast.
This is Wait, What? Politics with Zuma and Steele.
This will be a relatively virus-free program today. No going on and on about the C word.
The C word AZ Senator Steele is referencing to coronavirus. Her weekly podcast with retired journalist Jimmy Zuma focuses on national political news.
We were talking about coronavirus for a while as it impacts politics because it's so intertwined.
But then came one of their recent episodes, All Politics, No Pandemic, while other outlets are providing consistent coverage.
COVID-19.
Deaths related to COVID-19.
Coronavirus pandemic.
These two want to make the public aware of all the other news going on.
There are still other things happening in the world.
And those other things are important, says Zuma.
During this time, Hungary became a dictatorship again. And of course, the national election, the Wisconsin primary, and, the Sanders campaign.
Even though they're wanting to stray away from the coverage, both are aware the outbreak is providing them and many others with some extra free time.
There would be more people with time on their hands and they could listen to a half-hour podcast.
We're trying to give people relief, both from coronavirus and to keep them informed about what's happening in our democracy.
Marcela Baeto, Cronkite News.
The newest episode comes out today and can be found on most podcast apps by searching Zuma and Steele.
About a week after reports surfaced that Major League Baseball could begin its season with all 30 teams playing in Arizona in front of no fans, Governor Doug Ducey said the state is very interested in hosting the MLB. But public health experts say the idea would constitute a massive logistical challenge in order to keep players, coaches, and other personnel healthy, while also keeping the local community safe. To that point, Ducey stressed Arizona wouldn't be ready to move forward with a plan until the time is right. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who declared sports essential businesses, has also expressed interest in hosting MLB games.
Arizona, at the right time, is very open-minded to hosting whatever Major League Baseball would like from the state at the time that it would be appropriate for public health.
For now, all we can do is wait and see what happens. 2 words, Doug Ducey said, that would allow the country and the state of Arizona to know that things were headed back to normal, and those would be play ball.
As COVID-19 continues to decimate businesses everywhere, one Tempe company has pivoted in the wake of the crisis. Cronkite News reporter Frankie McLister has more on how Arizona's Blue Media is financially adapting and trying to help at the same time.
I'm taking a lot of the same best practices that I've done over the years since we started Blue in relieving people of headaches and being the person that I'm the one that's going to stay up late. You go to sleep. You got your job to do.
And RJ Orr says he knew he still had a job to do despite having nearly all of his business contracts canceled because of coronavirus. Tempe's Blue Media is a printing company making everything from banners to posters with clients such as the NFL. But now they're making a new product, the badly needed and in-demand face masks.
That means I need to shift what we do and sell things that a month ago I had no idea about. Like if you told me, what's an N95 mask and what's a NIOSH approval mean, I'd have no idea what you're talking about. But that's where I'm at.
Orr says that Blue Media is now focusing on creating masks for the everyday person. It's part of trying to reinvent the business for survival in 2 ways. 1, helping those in need and keeping his workers employed. And 2, the company has also donated hundreds of masks to first responders.
They're not only, an incredible business, but they're just really good people. And the fact that they wanted to reach out and help us is pretty awesome. In the event we need to tap into our reserves, we know that these masks that Blue Media donated are going to be the next line of our reserves that we're going to have to tap into in the event that, this continues for a long period of time.
Actually, those masks are not the only thing that Blue Media is selling right now. They're using that international connection they have from China, where they get a lot of their imports to request items that are essential right now in times of COVID-19. And one of those big ones, it's hand sanitizer.
For those people, that may have thought, oh, my time has passed. That thing I'm passionate about is inundated by millions of people already. There's no way for me to make my mark. Now you have an opportunity to make your mark.
In Tempe, Frankie McClister, Cronkite News.
The masks that Blue Media are creating are not FDA certified, so they are unable to donate them to healthcare facilities.
To help slow the spread of COVID-19, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends wearing face coverings to protect yourself and those around you when performing essential tasks like picking up medicine or groceries. However, the CDC also advises against using masks intended for healthcare workers. Cronkite News reporter Danielle Malkin shows us how you can create your own face mask from home.
Health experts say that wearing a mask or face covering is not an excuse to stop practicing safe social distancing. But what better way to spend your time in quarantine than putting your crafting skills to test and making your own mask?
We're following a tutorial from New York Times columnist Farhad Majoun. You'll need tightly woven cotton fabric and a sewing machine, ribbon, and sewing supplies, pins, thread, and scissors. And of course, your paper pattern. First, you'll cut 4 pieces of fabric using the pattern. Pin 2 pieces of fabric together so your mask is inside out. Sew the curved sides of the mask together. Repeat with the other 2 pieces. Next up, ribbons. Stitch a ribbon on each corner on the right side of the fabric. 4 ribbons, 4 corners. Pull all ribbons across the right side. Place the other mask on top, with the seam facing up. Sew the 2 masks together. Be sure to leave the right side of the mask open. Turn the mask inside out and pull on all the ribbons. Finally, sew the remaining gap in the masks.
Each member of a household should have their own mask, and the CDC says masks should be washed regularly. Your washing machine does the trick. I'm Danielle Malkin for Cronkite News.
It's beginning to look a lot like spring out there with temperatures in the low 80s today.
Jordan Evans is standing by now with a closer look at how we're warming up across the valley. Jordan?
Hey, Brady and Jordan. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Temperatures got up into the low 80s again this afternoon, and we will continue that warm-up over the next couple of days. But I am tracking some changes coming in. So here's a look at the big picture. We'll keep that forecast sunny and dry for the next couple of days. But then by Friday, here comes our next storm system approaching California. We'll get some rain showers across Los Angeles, but look how it tracks up to our north. So that's going to keep us dry here in the valley, but we will get some breezes, of course, on Friday. But slight chances for showers up across northern Arizona Saturday overnight, and then another round possible Saturday evening before that storm system clears out of here and high pressure begins to build in next week, which means temperatures, again, will start to go up. But real quick, here's a look at those details across northern Arizona. The best timing will be Friday overnight into early Saturday morning, and then another round possible Saturday overnight. But this is just not going to be a huge blockbuster event. Our rain amounts will be less than 1/10 of an inch, and the snow level is actually going to stay all the way above 8,000 feet. So nothing along the rim, nothing in Flagstaff. The San Francisco Peaks could get some snow, as well as the Kaibab Plateau across northern Arizona. And the winds will be lighter than last week, only about 20 to 30 miles per hour, mainly throughout the day, Thursday and Friday. So that thing, again, will clear out of here by the time we get into next week. In the valley for tonight, temperatures in the 80s still through 6 o'clock, and then we begin to cool things down to the 70s throughout the evening hours. So a nice evening to have those windows open overnight, let in some fresh air. For tomorrow, we'll pretty much do it again. A couple more degrees higher, though, with 60s in the morning, 70s by 10, and then the 80s get going by noon. And look how we get up into the mid to upper 80s by the late afternoon tomorrow. So a warmer day. As you can see, lows tonight across the valley going to be in the 50s. In fact, 40s for a couple of spots. So a little bit chilly actually there in Surprise and Whitman for tomorrow morning. But right here in downtown Phoenix, we will actually start our day out at about 56 degrees before high temperatures climb up into the mid to upper 80s across the valley. 87 for Tempe, Chandler, Ahwatukee. 88 for Laveen and Maricopa. Those will be the hot spots here tomorrow afternoon. Across the state, a couple freezes up to the north, as you can see, 29 in Flagstaff, 26 at the Grand Canyon, and 30 in Window Rock. Prescott will get down to 37, 38 for Payson, and then 50s out to the west, just like here across south central Arizona. High temperatures in those spots will hit the mid to upper 80s as well, 86 in Tucson, 76 for Kingman, and 60s for Prescott, Grand Canyon, Payson, and Show Low for tomorrow afternoon. We're going to continue this warm-up into Friday as well. As you can see, temperatures will maintain in the upper 80s. We'll get some clouds out of that next storm system here in the valley, but we look to stay dry. A couple breezes picking up too the couple of those days. And then we'll drop temperatures too as we get to Saturday down to 81. And then it's back off to the races with those temperatures as we get into 89 on Monday, flirting with 90. I'm going to avoid 90 for now on Monday, but I think by the time we get into the end of next week, we'll begin to hit 90 degrees here in Phoenix. And if you're curious exactly when we should have hit 90, well, that was about a couple of weeks ago. In fact, our average first occurrence there is March 31st, and we are going to be well behind that, but still plenty ahead of the latest first occurrence, which was May 12th, back in 1912.
That's it for Cronkite News, from our homes to yours. Thank you for watching.
For Arizona news updates throughout the day, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and find us online at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.